I of course never used to take her any gifts in. I didn't like her, so I never even talked to her really, if I could help it. But I had a nice little brainwave of what would be funny that I could do to her, and well, let's just say it didn't turn out exactly how I'd planned it. But I'll tell you the story. So what I did was, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but I'll explain it to you anyway. There is something that you can get over here in UK. I don't know if you can get it everywhere else. I haven't even checked, but it's called X-Lax. Now, what X-Lax is if you have constipation, X-Lax is a laxative. So, in other words, it gets rid of your constipation, and if you haven't got constipation, it can give you diarrhea. So, I think you're guessing where I'm coming from here. Now, she was a cookery teacher, so I thought it would be really funny if while at home I baked some buns. And you see, X-Lax can come in different forms. You can take them in tablets, etc. But one way you can get them is in chocolate. I suppose it's for, kids or whatever, so that they'll take them. But you can get them in chocolate. And they have the same effect, like a laxative. So I baked some buns while I was at home, and I did a chocolate icing for these buns, these little cakes. And of course, the chocolate icing had like a sprinkling of little chocolate chips on top of the icing, which of course was actually X-Lax chocolate. So what I was basically wanting to happen was that the cookery teacher would eat them. I know you only needed one little section of chocolate to to get you kind of going to the toilet if you needed to. And I must have grated about three sections on the top of every single little cake. So I knew very well that she'd be really going to the toilet like a good one in the end. Once she started, I knew it'd be really bad. But I thought it was funny, and I didn't care because I didn't like her. So anyway, I went to school with these buns, and I'd actually done about 8, I think. It was either 8 or 10. So it was a proper overdose I was going for. I was trying to properly make sure that she was going to be, pooing really badly for at least, a week or so. So I really let loose on her. It's not nice to say, but I did. And so I took them in and walked over to her when it got to cookery lesson. I went in and I said, Miss, I've bought you some cakes, some little cakes. I thought you might like them. And she looked at me and she said, Michael, I'm very surprised. I didn't think you liked baking. You're always so lazy when you're here. And I thought, yeah, you would say that, you bitch, because she'll always get on at me. So I'm like, well, no, I've turned over a new leaf and I've decided that I want to try, really make an effort to do some good baking. And she's like, oh, okay then. So I gave her the box with the X-Lax covered little cakes. And I just said to her, just throw away the box when you're done. It's a disposable box anyway, so it's fine. And hope you enjoy them. And she looked at me and she said, I'm sure I will. They look very nice. So I had a little chuckle thinking, haha, yeah, they are. Enjoy, bitch. And then I walked away and we carried on doing the lesson. Even when she shouted at me while we were doing the lesson, I didn't bother because I knew I was going to get my revenge. Yes, you could say it's a revenge thing. But I started this one, so no, it weren't really revenge. It was actually just me being nasty. But it was my dare. I had to do it. I was dared to go for her, so I did. So anyway, while the lesson was on, I kept my eye on her. And at the end of the lesson, I saw her eat one of the buns. Now, she was given quite a few buns by different kids. A lot of the kids would take them in to try and creep round her, so she'd not tell them off and give them an easy run through the lesson and that kind of thing. Never worked, but they kept trying, so she used to get loads of little cakes and buns given to her. And so, and I saw her eat one of mine, and her eyebrows raised up a bit, and I thought, oh, what does that mean? Oh, let me go and put some music on again. That's easy now, I can just make a little bridge here. So, I thought, oh, what does that mean? So anyway, end of lesson came, and I'm walking out of the classroom, and she says, Michael, wait there. And stopped. I thought, oh dear, I've been caught. I went, yes, miss? She said, them buns are really nice. I expect that kind of quality from you all the time from now on. So, of course, I had a little chuckle because, I knew what was in them. And I don't think that's the quality she'd really like. But I said, I'll do my best. And I walked off. And went, and then it was a break. And then it was going to be metalwork after. So anyway, what I didn't know was that this teacher went into the staff room, with it being a break, and when she were in there, I didn't know this, she used to share the little cakes that the kids brought her in with the other teachers. So there I was in the kind of break in the grounds, just with my friends having a good laugh with them telling them what I'd done and that I'd managed to get her. So I'd done my dare and I'd done what I had to do. And what I didn't know is about all that time I was doing that, there's about 6 different teachers all eating my buns. And right, I'm going to have to pause it 1 second, guys, because I need some new pickaxes. So, and that'll take too long. So I'll just pause it and then I'll come straight back and carry on with the story. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I've got myself some more iron pickaxes now, so we're doing well. Also, we're getting round to an area where there are monsters over there. We saw oh, that's like a cave there. We saw some zombies jumping around over there earlier, so I'd like to look round this corner. So let me just give myself... Well, I can see a skeleton. I'm actually going to shoot that skeleton, I think. I really don't want to be knocked off of this ledge. What I will do as well, I think I will go and get this lava source here, because I want to go and be able to pour it on these baddies. Actually, I could do with an upper level for that. So anyway, let me carry on with my story. Let me get the story going. So yeah, what I didn't know is she was sharing it, sharing these cakes, little cakes and buns and that, with about 6 other teachers. And I honestly didn't know, so while I was out in the grounds, school grounds, I've been laughing and joking about what I'd done. These teachers are eating these cakes that had this X-Lax chocolate grated on the top, and plenty of it. So, that's better. Hello, Creeper. And so, next lesson, we had metalwork. And the teacher, the metalwork teacher, was a big guy. And I mean he was big. It was like a mixture of an elephant and a bear. It was absolutely massive. And I mean broad massive, not fat massive. I mean, you wouldn't want to take a punch off him. And it was stood in the lesson. And I kept seeing him squirming. Well, of course, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know, I didn't know that others had touched them cakes. So I saw him just squirming and I wondered what were up. And it got about about two-thirds of the way through the lesson. And then all of a sudden he just got up and he ran. And I mean, not like little skippity run softly. I mean, he full on, head down, sprinted out of that classroom and went running to the staff toilets. And I wouldn't like to think what mess he made in there, but I can understand it wouldn't have been nice because I know how much laxative I'd put in there. So anyway, and the funny thing was, and this was cruel but it was so funny, was that while he was running down the corridor, you could hear him farting with every step. So he was like, and when I heard that, I kind of had an idea what was happening, and I thought it was very funny. So anyway, I went to walk because there was nobody. Teacher had gone. He wasn't going to be back anytime soon. He was just making a mess of their toilets. So I went down around the corner to another corridor that led to the history department. And there was this mate, one of the ones that were giving dares, his name was David. And David was sat on the floor outside the history... Oh, sorry, Creeper. What a shot. Outside this history room, and he had tears in his eyes. He was holding his ribs, and he was crying with laughter. So I walked up to him, and I was just to tell him about the metalwork teacher. And I said to him, "What you're laughing at?" And the history teacher, and this is terrible, I shouldn't laugh. The history teacher hadn't gone soon enough, and he had actually basically pooed his pants. I shouldn't laugh, it's an awful thing to do, but yeah, he did, he pooed his pants. So of course that made everybody laugh at him then. And yeah, well, there we go. Right, I'm gonna just realised I've got to go. I've got a few things to do. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to finish this next time, and I'll tell you what came of it, and who got the blame and what happened next. But yeah, so basically what we had were I'll tell you what happened to the original cookery teacher, who I gave the little cakes to start with. I'll explain what happened to her next time, and I'll also tell you what happened to the other two, what happened to any other teachers and things like that. But so yeah, basically it was a very smelly, terrible time. But you'll have to hear about that next time. So anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the story so far. Let me know what you think. If you don't want to hear rest on it, I don't blame you. But if you do, then I'll get it done as soon as I can. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like or dislike, favourite or subscribe. Whatever you want to do. It's all your choice. You're all amazing, and you can make your own decisions on that. So you take really good care of yourselves, and goodbye for now, my friends.